Alright, so you may have seen from the title, Neo Demonic or Demon Chandler is what the leak has been calling it, is effectively have been added to the game. We got a patch yesterday for JP, and essentially they add these like infos for future characters amongst these patches, and the leakers find it basically. We were, when the patch dropped, everyone chat was like, "Oh, did we get info for the next Holy War? The game for the next Holy War?" And I think this might be it, or this could just be a random banner character. But looking at what he does, he might also be a Holy War festival, because this Demon Chandler here, he's looking to be a very powerful character, but also we've seen, like, obviously the Archangels are powerful characters that aren't festivals, like Red Tarmiel. So Demon Chandler. We also got leaks for a new base Meliodas and some Ragnarok stuff as well. But let's talk for Demon Chandler because I think that that's the most interesting. Demon Chandler, his skills are the same as Green Rimuru, so I thought they were wrong, but they make sense with his passive and description. So when 7DS Leaks gets info on new characters, like something that has been basically added to the game right now. We've seen leaks of characters like, oh, from the beta app, oh, we have Festival Estorosa, right? That's like not the same thing. This is actually like in the game currently, and this info has been added to the game, and that's where he's extracting this information from. So this could be next Holy War, or a banner that comes in a few weeks or months, but this is probably going to actually release in not so long from now. So new Demon Chandler. Description. Primal Fragment. Chandler, the highest level demon, has the ability to block the enemy's recovery abilities, so he can lead the battle to an advantage. Now, this Demon Chandler is a character that we already have in-game. If you know from story, it's this guy right here. In the new story chapter, we actually got his new skill that you'll be seeing from these patches. I'm actually going in here, and we're going to talk about the name of the skill and then show it here. So it's this guy, right? And if I go back here, you will see his second name skill is called Exterminate Ray. Exterminate Ray, if you're talking like Merlin talks in the Ultimate or whatever. And if I skip here my turn, it is that skill right there. That's the skill that he's probably going to have. Now he also has his lightsaber skill, the single target lightsaber skill. But let me back out here and go back to the info. We're seeing here he also has an AoE skill. So in PvP, this is passive. If every ally in the battlefield is demon race or unit with commandments, so same thing as Assault Melee, but Assault Melee doesn't have the PvP restriction. I hate characters that have PvP restrictions. Like, let me use the passive everywhere, bro. Increase all allies' pierce rate by 40%. Increase damage dealt by demon race or unit with commandments by 15% for each debuff the enemy has. Interesting. Now this can be heavily manipulated if you have like Green Sario Link. I don't like that he has the passive that increases allies' pierce rate, because the moment I started reading, oh, if all allies in battle are demons, like, oh, Assault Melee. But if he's raising allies' pierce rate, it's like, nah, that's Trader Melee, bro. That's a buff to Trader Melee. And it makes sense for them to want to, give Trader Melee buffs and not Assault Melee. Trader Melee is the newest fastball Meliodas, but, yeah, if you've used Trader Melee with any pierce boost, like with Blue Lilia, or you've watched the videos using him with Blue Lilia, you give him more pierce and that AoE flies. I mean, it's already strong. Like, the AoE is already strong, as it is, right? But you give him a little more pierce as well, and, it starts going crazy, right? So the skills. The first skill, Cleave, inflicts damage equal to 110, 180, 280 on all enemies, infects. Okay, so this is the same skill as Rimuru. Which is why 7DS Leaks was like, oh, I'm not sure, because it has the same skills. Because also the single target is Turbo Pierce rate as well. It's the same skills as Rimuru, which is kind of interesting. I mean, those skills are powerful, so it makes sense. So I brought here, this is the AoE skill. He's going to do it right here. Not that one, the next one. This is the same lightsaber single target, but This is the lightsaber AoE. Boom. So I'm assuming that's going to be the AoE, in fact, that we're going to be having from this character. Ult, Demon's Judgment. Inflicts weak point damage. Oh, yeah, it is AoE. No, this is single target. 578, weak point is single target. On one enemy. Okay. We can also take a look at his ultimate here as well. I think it will... maybe I should go to the newest chapter that might have the more updated ultimate, but... we can also take a look at his ultimate here from story. And I remember it being pretty cool. But I think if I had gone to the back to the newest chapter, we might see like a more concrete version of what the ultimate should be. Oh yeah, this is not the ultimate. Yeah, this is like an advanced version of the skill, like a level 4, you will, that bosses do in story when they don't have ultimates ready. Alright, this should be the correct one. I don't have sound on my game. No! Okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he makes he makes the extra long saber. Lightsaber, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the ultimate. It is a single target in the story as well. Okay. Yeah, this is looking to be the way it's gonna be, this new Chandler. And if it is a new Holy War, cool. I mean, this could be the next Holy War festival. I was really hoping... It probably is. The way I'm looking at this, like, he's very powerful. Increases damage dealt by demon race or unit with commands by 15% for each debuff the enemy has. If you go by, like, how Kyo works, right? Kyo, for each ignite on the enemy, it lowers their damage by 5%, right? But it's not, like, cumulative, right? It's not, like, on all enemies. Like, if you have 6 ignites on all enemies, you're not lowering the damage that all enemies do by 30%. It's like for each ignite on each enemy, it lowers by that enemy's damage, if that makes any sense. So that should be how Chandler works. And if you have like Gring Sauriel on a character that's attacking every turn, you're constantly debuffing them. And if you have, I mean, I said like Assault Meliodas is not really getting much from this, but you know, if you have Assault Meliodas as well, and they attack you, they get debuffed as well. So this is looking like a really powerful passive. So I don't see this being like a regular banner character. And if it is a Holy War, then this ultimate is also going to have like an effect on it as well. Maybe like Margaret, where it disables the enemies. Because this ultimate, like, I mean, weak point is very powerful because it's like basically a one-shot, even a 1/6, basically, on a lot of these characters. But it is a single target, right? And single targets then should not be as powerful in PvP. So they're probably going to make something like, oh, but then all other enemies get cocked in some way. Like with Zeldris, the way they did it was Zeldris is a single target ultimate, but he lowers all enemies' HP related stats. And then Margaret, when she came out, it was just, you know, the triple crit chance, but then they added all, but also all the other enemies get disabled, right, at 6/6. So they're probably going to add something like that. But we'll see how it goes. Now, the other stuff here, new base Meliodas. We actually, I was surprised, we don't actually have a blue base Meliodas that is an SSR. We have these 3 base Meliodas. We're missing a blue base Meliodas because this doesn't count, this is an SR, right? That actually surprised. It's been like 3 years. But this is looking like a terrible character, unfortunately. I've already read what he does. Captain Meliodas, again, base Meliodas, removes the enemy's buffs and stances so the allies can attack effectively. Now, when I read this, when I woke up, this is the first thing I saw was this tweet. I was like, holy shit, he's gonna have a passive that every turn removes enemy stances and buffs like Rimuru. It's gonna be so powerful against like the end teams. But no, his passive is, at the start of ally's turn, increases basic stats of units that have 2 or less skills in hand by 20%, similar to Nanashi, but worse, because it's basic stats and not something actually tangible, like removing the enemy ultimate gauge. And I mean, Nanashi's passive is not the thing I like the most. No one likes Nanashi's passive because it's like RNG, right? What character you're gonna get 2 cards for? And like, basic stat buffs are not something that you give goddamn RNG to, because only 20% is like something like a big ass number, like 40% is like 20%, right? But you know, this is going to be a terrible character. So remove buffs and stances. I already know what it is. They're giving this description to him because they're going to give him this skill. Remove buff, remove buff, remove buffs and stances. On level 3. He's gonna suck. And base melee has terrible stats. I mean, they could buff base melee stats. I hope they do. But, you know how they are. Let's see. This is looking to be a free character. I don't see this being a summonable character. He looks way too bad to be a summonable character at this day and age. So he has his new like skills and stuff. I mean, this is the Halloween melee skill, right? He puts the sword up, and then he conjures the bats. That's interesting. In any case, yeah, if this is a base Meliodas that's coming out, and it's like summonable, it's not looking good. I'm assuming it's gonna be free. I mean, they've been on a bad track record of free characters as well. Like this new Hawk that they released. Oh man, not this one. Sorry, this Hawk. This new Hawk that they released, like they went out of their way to make him terrible, right? Like his skills are bad, his passive is bad, his stats are bad, everything about him is bad. But new thing, right? Freyha and Freyr. Attendance. So attendance is the characters that, like, when you log in, they give you like the login bonus. Freyr and Freyr will be selectable as attendance units. I don't know when. I don't know if they'll be playable, but until now, Everton's hero was playable. Also found Freyr's weapon, no textures. Freyr the fire guy? No, I don't. These names hard for me. But what I know is, I think that this new Brynhilde that came out, we're gonna talk about her, was not something that the game considered to be a Ragnarok banner. So this new Brynhilde came out, and she's like a Ragnarok base character. Obviously, she's a Ragnarok character, but she's a character that wants Ragnarok characters in your team, right? And on the battlefield in general. But what I'm thinking is that they are not considering her to be the Ragnarok banner of the month, because there was no Ragnarok chapter. There was not even a single resemblance of any other thing like that drops with Ragnarok banners, right? So what I'm thinking is, this month still, in the 24th of June, is when they released the first Ragnarok banner. If you remember, after the Part 2 anniversary banner, which was Oslo and Hawk last year was even worse than this year, Blue Oslo and Hawk, was the first Ragnarok banner. And maybe there, or a little bit after, we're going to be getting a new Ragnarok banner with these two characters. And possibly Demon Holy Relics, so with a new Demonic Beast battle, right? And which would come with the Demon Holy Relics and the Giant Holy Relics. Those are the two types of characters that are missing Holy Relics, right? So we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful that this will be what it is, and not just like they're just going to drop these two characters and that's it, because I mean that would be cool for the anniversary of Ragnarok to get a new Demonic Beast battle, and again for demons, which is like the coolest race in some really sounds like, come on. So yeah, let me know what you think of this new Chandler coming out and everything. I think this is looking to be a very powerful Holy War. Next Holy War, if we go by last year, should be at the end of July. So that's when I'm expecting him to release, but we'll see.